Hey everyone, as you see, I'm a little hot. Of course, I'm in my car. Boy, look at that hair. Yes, bud. Yeah, it's hot in here, but we're getting it cooled down, aren't we? I had again full intentions to jump on the vlog and talk a little bit while I was in the shop for the last hour and a half under a major time restraint. I had a lot to do within an hour and like 15 minutes. I just didn't have time to pull the camera. So I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry I'm not capturing a lot of stuff that you guys are used to. And hopefully these are still being entertaining to you guys. But as you see, I'm in the car. I'm heading home now. It's 10 after 7. I got to get home and get the boys to bed. And of course they were upset because they didn't want to stop playing. Okay, so what did I do tonight real quick? I scaled karts. I scaled Corey first. We did a cross change with him going into tomorrow night. We actually, the past 2 times we ran there, we've actually lowered his cross going into the feature because of track conditions. And we originally had lowered cross going into the heat race at the last Rice Lake race, and then I decided to make a last minute change and put it back because they swept the track and it took away the black groove when they swept the track. But by the time the boys got out there after 3 or 4 classes ran, that black groove showed back up, and Corey was a smidge tight in the center, enough to where he said he had to use the brake to kind of stab the brake to help it rotate. So I'm going in now with this change, going into tomorrow night's racing. But like I told Corey, it's been hot all week, so if the track for some reason looks super dry, I'm sneezing like crazy. I'm sorry, everyone. We'll add that cross back if the track just doesn't have a slight black groove, especially after practice. Well, we'll just put that cross back in it. Takes a couple minutes. Those are the changes that we made on Corey's kart going into race number 3 at Rice Lake. With the Predator, I didn't actually no changes to that. We are running the numbers that we ran last time. It was really good for the heat race. But he was also tight for the feature because we didn't make a cross change. So I have a game plan in place. If the track now becomes very similar to what it was 2 weeks ago, hard and black, we'll take some cross out. So I have a game planning. If we have to, I will adjust the chassis accordingly for the Predator. One thing I did do is I did up their RPM a little bit. I went up on gear because they were a little low on the RPM, both him and Autumn. Speaking of Autumn, Corey actually scaled her last night. And then after he sent me the numbers and we were chit-chatting, he's now thinking he wants to actually tighten her up a little bit. So we're going to make a weight change to her at the track when we get there and throw her on the scales before the night's racing to write her numbers down. I got to scale Ryan anyway, so we're going to have the scales up and ready to go anyway. So, and then I did Dad's Sportsman because he's running double classes. And the change we did with him, I actually put him back. So I put his cross back in the cart that we had taken out for the feature last time. And then because he was really good with these numbers for the heat race, so we're going to run these numbers and then adjust accordingly for track conditions for the feature. But the one difference is I'm going to, depending on now if the track gets like it was before, black and hard, I'll be making an air pressure change because he actually had a little bit of a hop. So we're going to make a change to try to address that hop going into the corner. And again, Corey and Dad did Dad's a little bigger on the center mass with his body where Corey isn't, so his weight transfers a little bit differently than Corey's. And Corey was not getting that same feeling as Dad was. Now, granted, yes, they're on different chassis, but right now they honestly run identical air pressures. So depending on what the track does, I'm making a small air pressure change going into the feature too. So I have all these little game plans set up for different track conditions. Sometimes your game plans work. Sometimes you throw them out the window and you come up with a new one that day at the track. So, but you can't be afraid to plan and or change because you don't know until you try something. And 9 out of 10 times you try something and it hits, and you get the couple times where it doesn't hit, and that's fine. But then you learn, and you write notes. And I can't emphasize enough, notes are very important. You don't have to write a freaking book, but write your key stuff. You don't have to write down what the air temperature was and all that stuff. But just make a kind of a note of what the track condition was like. Was it very tacky? Was it rough? Was it loose? Was it hard, black? Lots of grip? No grip? Stuff like that. And then just what did you do for gearing? What did you start the night out with? What did you end up with? Tire pressures. What did you start with night? Camber, screen. And I have a basic setup I start with every time. I know my cambers, my casters, my toe. One new thing I started adding in is my hub distances. I mark my distances on each paper so I know if I move them in, out. And especially since we run multiple tracks with the same chassis, this helps keep me ahead of the game. I'm not sitting there trying to go, I can't remember, or I think we did this. And then one new thing I started doing this year too is spindle washers. I count the number of spindle washers top and bottom on the left front and the right front, and then if I make a change, I note that in my book. And then, like going into now Rice Lake, okay, Corey runs left front camber or left front spindle, these washers here, but MTS we run them here. I know exactly, okay, we need to move this washer here, move this washer here. So to speed up our process, to keep us organized, because we run multiple tracks with the same cart, stuff like that. So, and then it's just trying to minimize the issues at the track too. Like I said, we're not sitting there playing guessing games at the track. I get everything set up in the garage, ready to go. So when we unload, we are literally ready to hit the track. That is how we set up our program. So it's not pull the cart out, and then we need to change this and do this, and we like to do it at the garage, and we're done. We're ready to rock and roll. And then whatever the day and or night throws at you, you go. But we are at least not thrashing when we get to the track. That's the plan. So, all right. Well, you've been hearing me rant for over 10 minutes, or roughly 10 minutes. So I'm gonna end the vlog here. Again, I'm sorry there was no like action footage and stuff like that. You're just kind of hearing me talk, but just want to kind of keep you updated. We do have a big weekend next weekend since we're not racing, but we will be in the shop. We're helping Josh Viner get his cart ready, so I will have some footage of that. We'll be switching Leona over to a 206 instead of running a Predator, so we'll have footage of that. Corey bought the animal. He'll be switching Autumn to that. So we're going to get content out there, hopefully more to your liking. So, but I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And we'll catch you all at the racetrack. Peace out.